What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for joining. It has been a minute since I came out to the shop and did a video. I have been out here doing a few things, nothing really fishing related, few gun stuff, but not too much. Here recently in Arkansas, man, we've been getting a lot of rain, and it's really made it hard for me to get out and do some maintenance on the boat. I have got some of that done, but I need to get out on the water to kind of do a few other things that are having a little bit of trouble doing here in the yard. Mainly, as I said, it's been raining like crazy, so I haven't really been able to get out and do a lot in the rain. So hopefully this rain will clear up around here and be able to get out and do some fishing content. I am so far behind, guys. The last monster bass that I got, it had a new buzz bait in it that we were supposed to be testing. I have not even had a chance to do that, guys. I apologize. I need to get out and get that tested and get my feedback to them. Like I said, man, it's just been raining a lot, so I haven't had a chance to get out and do a whole lot of stuff outside. With that being said, I know it is at the end of this month. I've been sitting on this thing for a while. So I think it's about time I get out here and do a monster bass video, break this one down and talk about some of the lures that's in it. And hopefully get you guys to go out to the store and buy some of these. Please remember, you can always go to the Monsterbass website at monsterbass.com and buy these lures. A lot of the lures that we get in these Monsterbass bags or boxes, you can go to the website and buy those lures individually. So if you have subscribed to Monsterbass, I'll try to leave a link so that way you can if you haven't subscribed already. But you can go to the Monsterbass website and buy just these individual lures if you like them. So I'll try to remember to get that link on there for you, so that way you can get over there to Monster Bass, sign up for a subscription, get these baits sent to you. Gives you a chance to try out lures before you run to the store, spend your money on them, and then it turns out you don't like those lures, and now you're trying to give them away, or it turns into that lure that when you throw it into a bush or a tree, you really don't care about breaking that one off because you didn't like it anyway. So I'm going to try to help you, show you some of these lures. If you like them, you know, if you subscribe to Monster Bass, you like these lures, you can go to the store and find them or order them straight off of monsterbass.com. Here we go. First things first, guys. Y'all know what we do. We got the booklet here that talks about all of your lures. You have different advice from the professionals that have teamed up with Monster Bass. You get your cool Monster Bass stickers. It looks like we did some throwbacks. This one I think is like the original logo M, and I'm trying to look around on my wall over here where I do a lot of my gun maintenance. I have this sticker already up on the wall there, and it is the only one like this that I have. So yes, I've got one over here where my gun stuff is, and then I've got this one. So always love getting stickers. Stick them all over the place, your boat, your tackle box, your shop, whatever. Okay, so in the book here, first lure that we're going to talk about. Well, it looks like a current test bait is, these looks like Monster Bass crankbaits, a lipless crankbait and then a square bill crankbait. I think I have one of those in here, so you know what? Let's talk about it. Let me see. Okay, yes. So I have the Incision 6.2. If you guys can see that color there. I hate how my glare is so horrible. But lipless crankbait comes in at 3/8 ounce, 2.4 inches in length. The depth, 2 to 5 feet. So this is a shallow lipless. The color is called Candy Apple Cross. So it's a red color, has the crawl patterns on it. The signature katana red treble hook. The things with I was about to call it a yo-yo, with lipless crankbaits. Most people, when you think about a crankbait, you throw it out, you wind it back in, that lip will help it dive down. With a lipless, it's already going to sink. So the easy way to fish this lure, you throw it out, let it sink down a little bit, and then a steady retrieve back. There's nothing wrong with that. That technique has caught tons of fish. I believe there are several anglers that have cashed humongous checks fishing lipless crankbaits that way, just throwing it out there. It's a good way to introduce like young kids to fishing because it doesn't require a whole lot of work. Again, you can throw it out there, let them reel it back in. If they're good at casting, tie one of these on, tell them be careful, make sure nobody's behind you when you're casting, because you know little kids, they just like to swing that rod back. But if they're good at casting, they're very aware of their surroundings. Tell them to throw that thing out there, and once it hits the water, tell them to count to 3. 1, 2, 3, and then start reeling. They'll be surprised when a fish hits this thing. If you want to try and move up on techniques fishing this, the yo-yo method is one where you throw it out, you let it get to the bottom, and you take your rod tip, you snap it up. When I say snap, so you can snap it up or you can just raise it up. Either way it goes. If you do it fast, it's going to have a really, really fast, erratic darting action going up like this. And then you just let it, once it goes up, and lower your rod. As it's coming back down, it's going to shimmy a little bit. So then reel up that slack and snap it again. You can do that same motion, but slow it down. Gradually raise it up, lower it back down, reel up the slack. Probably about this speed right here as you're watching my hands. Snapping, bam, bam. Those erratic actions is going to trigger bites, especially when that fish is already sitting there looking at it. They see it's coming down, and then when you snap it and it darts up, that bass is going to run up there and attack it. Really good ways to catch fish. With this color, again, think about your surroundings and your area. Try to envision crawfish in these areas, so rocky bottoms, maybe around some riprap. Throw this thing in that spot and you're sure to catch some really good fish. Okay, so that is the first one. That is the current test bait. So somewhere there's usually on these a QR code or something to scan so you can give your feedback. But I'm guessing with this one being a Monster Bass product itself, you probably have to go to Monster Bass website to put your input in on that lure. I didn't even realize that was a test bait. I haven't really looked in this bag when I got it. Okay. It talks about how to break down a lake. So looking for those key spots to fish. Your main lake points and secondary points, creek channels, flats near the deep water, isolated humps, all of that good stuff. It talks about a lot of stuff breaking down a lake to pick out those key spots and which spots are going to be more productive based on the season and the habits of the fish at that time. So really good stuff to really look into and study up on. So here we have a creature bait. Let me see if I can, what they got in here for us. Okay, so I don't think they're talking about that one. So I think the one that we are talking about, unless they're talking about both, because it's not really a specific lure, but more of a technique of fishing. So we have creature baits. They gave us two. We have the Power Bait Crazy Legs Chigger Crawl. And Power Bait by Berkeley is a really good lure, really good bait company, so their lures are pretty good, top notch. That one got a little crazy with the plastic. But here you go, here's a Crazy Leg Chigger Crawl. As you can see, the pinchers and then the tentacles right there. Make sure you separate those. Let's see here. Ideal for thick cover and flipping. So I agree with that. Even if it ain't thick cover, sparse grass and stuff like that, I'll still flip this around it. 3 to 5/0 hook. On this package here, it suggests, well, it just says an offset EWG. So 3 to 5/0 hook ought to be really good. Peg tungsten weights, a 1/4 ounce to a 3/8 ounce for Texas rigging. For Carolina rig, great for dragging along the points and the flats. Punch rig or a heavy Texas rig, same hook setup, but you'd want to use a little bit heavier weight. You could use this as a jig trailer. So awesome things right here. This color, green pumpkin. Green pumpkin. You can't go wrong fishing green pumpkin anywhere in the country. So that is one of them. Like I said, it's the Berkley power bait. It is infused with their scent, which I could smell it, and I wasn't even trying to really get it close to me. And then the other one is the Z-Man Elastec Boar Hogs. And this one is in the watermelon color. So again, clear to stained water. Make sure you separate your appendages there. Same kind of conditions that you would throw for the Berkley. Only difference is since you have different colored baits, then you want to pick and choose when you want to throw those based on your water clarities and things like that. Oh, look here. Pick the right colors. Make sure to match the forage and water clarity. Clear, green pumpkin, watermelon red. Stained water, black and blue, June bug, Okeechobee crawl. Muddy water, black neon, chartreuse, green pumpkin, orange, blue sapphire. Your line and rod setup, 15 to 20 pound fluorocarbon for Texas and Carolina rigs, 50 to 65 pound braid for punching. Punching, you're throwing into that heavy, thick mats. You want braid for that because that braid can slice through that grass really, really good. So that's why they're saying fluorocarbon for your Texas and your Carolina rigs, because you're usually throwing that around stumps and laydowns and light grass. And then when you're punching, you want to throw these with braid because that braid will cut through that vegetation. Your rods, 7.3 to 7.6 heavy power fast action rods. You want something that's gonna horse those fish up out of that thick cover. 7.3 is just a good overall length for your Texas rig, your Carolina rigging. 7.6 rod sizes also could depend on the angler. If you're a big tall guy, you can get away with using longer rods. If you're a short guy, you're gonna have a hard time throwing a really big rod. So angler dependent on your rod size, but also your level of fishing. So take that into consideration, guys, when you go buy your rods and stuff. But really good baits. I love using creature baits. I love fishing any style of creature bait, so you can't go wrong with any of those. Let's see, what else do we have? We have Southern Fried Fish, talking about how to cook your fish. Soft plastic cut tail worms. So for that one, we have some Yamamoto baits, 7.75 inch cut tail worms. Okay, here you go. Just your regular old worm. This used to be a curly tail worm, but then they cut it off right as it started to curl. Still gonna give a lot of great action. Heavy cover or weedy areas. Use a 3 to 4/0 extra wide gap hook. Bullet weight 1/8 to a 1/4 ounce depending on depth and your wind. You could also fish this weightless, guys. Don't let that, think that you got to throw a weight on there. You can fish this weightless. Perfect for open water and when bass are finicky, fishing this as a wacky rig. And then great for shaky head fishing. Fish slow and natural, drag it along the bottom. So again, guys, when I fish my Texas rig, I like to throw it out, let it get to the bottom, reel up my slack, and then I like to lift up. If you're going to fish this a Carolina rig, I would actually prefer that when you throw it out, drag it along the side. That way you maintain that bottom contact. Wacky rigs and shaky heads, guys. Shaky head, same thing. You kind of want to either lift up a little bit and kind of twitch it, or drag it along the side. That way it's maintaining that bottom contact. I throw this around anything when I'm fishing a Texas rig. Around docks, trees, brushes, any kind of cover. I will flip and pitch and cast this as a Texas rig to anything that I think I can get it to. Again, I fish it fairly slow to medium speed. I don't get too crazy with it. Bounce it a little bit, kind of hop it a little bit, reel it back in, fish it all the way back to the boat. If you're fishing on the bank, guys, fish it all the way back to the bank. If you're fishing in a boat, fish it all the way back to your boat. You never know when that fish is trailing it, and just as you get to the boat, he hits. So fish it all the way back to your boat. This color, what color is this? Watermelon with a black flake. I don't know if you guys can see on the camera. I don't know if you can see. It does have some black flakes in it. So again, really good natural color right there. And the Yamamoto baits are awesome baits. You know, they were the pioneers when it came to the stick baits with the Cincos. That's why a lot of people have copied what they put out, because they're really good lures and they work. Okay, that's all that was in the book. Have a couple more. So we have the Grande Fishing crankbait. It's a 1.5 SDR. I wonder if that was the other one that was. So I think this is also one of the test baits. Let's see here. I got a Bluegill Rage is the color. So yeah, I think this is 2.25 inches in length, 3/8 ounce in the size. Nice little bluegill color square bill crankbait. So of course, throwing up shallow around your rocks, your docks, such. You know, again, make sure your rod and reel set up, your line size, all of that stuff is set up correctly. Remember, when you're fishing with crankbaits, your line size will also dictate your depth. So the max depth for this, 2 to 5 feet. So the lighter you go in line, you're going to get it down deeper. I wouldn't suggest going no lower than 10-pound test on your crankbaits or any of your lures with trebles, because one, you don't want the fish to break your line so easy, but you don't want too heavy on your line to where you're not able to get that lure down to the depth that you want to get it to. Okay, next we have a Yozuri 3DB jerkbait. This is the 110. I don't know if you guys can see that on there. Brandon Cobb approved. Elite bass angler. He's awesome. This is a clear pro blue. The belly there is a translucent color. You can see through it with that blue right on the top of the lure there. Great looking minnow and shad imitating. Again, with jerkbaits. Jerkbaits, when you can find them, the fish, I mean, when they're suspended, if you don't have the forward-facing sonar, it's going to be a little bit harder. Even though I don't have forward-facing sonar, but just from what I've been seeing, it's a little bit harder, because you can see that they're there. You see them on your graph. You know the fish are there, but you don't know how they're reacting to your bait. So I would say make 5 casts with a certain cadence. Example, you throw it out. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. I would probably say make about 5 casts like that. If you haven't got hit, I would probably add a couple of more snaps. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Mix it up. If you haven't got bites in that next 5, maybe slow it down. 1, 1. You know, you get where I'm going with this. Mix up your cadence every, like I said, as just a reference number. Every 5 casts, try to change up that cadence to see how they're reacting. If you have the forward-facing sonar on your boat, that first cast, if you see the fish swim up to it and then it just stops and it's looking at it, you can tell, okay, they're not reacting to that cadence. Switch up the cadence, or at least you can start adding more twitches to get their attention. Or maybe you can kill it and then twitch it again. Forward-facing sonar is a little bit easier to fish those jerk baits because you can instantly see how the fish are reacting. If you don't have forward-facing sonar, I would probably say every 5 casts, switch up your cadence. That way you're not just doing the same thing over and over and over and then wondering why you're not getting bites. Switch it up after a while. Last but not least, we have G-Man Ballin' Out Jig by Buckeye. Has a 3/0 hook, 3/8 ounce. The color, I don't know. We got some green in there and we got some brown. So I would probably take this jig and one of these and pair them up and see what you can do. I love fishing jigs. When you flip that jig into a bush and you let it get down there on the bottom and then you hop it, oh my goodness, when that fish, when he thump it, boom, it is like, oh, it's hard to explain this, guys. You throw that lure out there, you hop it, reel up the slack, you hop it, and then you feel that boom. It is like something just hit you and you just instantly drop. And you're in that position and you're waiting and you're waiting. And when you lift or you take that reel and you turn it a little bit and you feel that fish swim, you're just like, oh, game on. Wham! And you set the hook on them and then the fight is on. Even if it's a small fish. I remember me and my brother went down to the Washita River down in Camden, Arkansas, and we fished a tournament. We didn't win. I caught one fish. It was a small one. But I flipped it up to a bush. And I reeled up my slack a little bit and I started hopping it. And I felt that thump and I instantly just stopped and I sat there. And the minute I felt that thing move again, oh, I tried to crack his head open. Little bitty fish. But I set the hook on him like it, oh. If the world had depended on that hook set, I would say I saved the world that day. Because I tried to bust his head to the white meat, as the late Bernie Mac would say. Fishing a jig, when you feel that bite, it is the most, next to a topwater bite, I would say a jig bite is probably the most satisfying thing. Because like I said, you feel that thump and it's like game on, buddy. So again, look at your colors on your jig, match your trailers. Sometimes you can mix match those jig and trailer colors, but try to get it close so that way it looks as much of a natural prey to those fish. Get out there, catch you some fish, subscribe to Monster Bass, get you some of these lures, and then run out to the store and buy you some. Or order them from Monster Bass, whichever one. Get out of the house. Get out there. Enjoy the great outdoors. One of the best things about living here in Arkansas, it's in our name. We are the natural state. When you get out there in nature, it is like walking through a gateway to a whole nother world. So, again, people, please click the link. Subscribe to Monster Bass. Get these lures sent to you every month. The ones you don't like, I'm sure there's somebody out here at your local lakes or wherever, you can give them away to them. The ones you do like, keep the bag, keep the lures. Go back on Monster Bass, order more of those lures. Run to your local stores and buy more of those lures. Fill these bags up, and you get out there and have you some fun. That's all I got, guys, for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the great outdoors.